Good evening, everybody. Welcome to your Thursday evening Facebook Live. My name is Sarah Edwards. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I come to you guys live every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 to show you a fun new project. So, hopefully, everybody had a great day. I worked this morning, so I got up at 3, got to work by 4, was home a little after 10, and started crafting away. Super excited. I got the Designing Damsel Attention Shoppers kit. I got it ready for the mail. I also did a 45-minute video showing you guys how to put it all together. I'm going to show you guys the PDF. So if you're wondering what it is, if you see my emails coming out, I can kind of give you a little brief description of it. So I did that. So hopefully after my live, if I don't fall asleep, I will get that email out. If not, I will do it at first thing tomorrow morning because the last few days I've been getting up at 3 for work. And once I'm kind of in that little habit, I wake up at 3 no matter what, even if I don't have to work. And I don't work tomorrow, but I'm sure I'll still wake up at 3. So be prepared to get an email super early if you ordered that kit because it is so fun and so cute. So I got that done. And I know I said it, I think on Tuesday that I cleaned my craft room and it got a mess again. So I cleaned my craft room again today and this table is spotless. So tomorrow I can start working on another project. It's always something in the craft room. But hopefully you guys had a good day. Hopefully you got into your craft room for a little bit and made a big mess like I do. Good evening, Heather. Welcome. Thanks for joining. So today's card is using the Unbounding Beauty Designer Series paper, the dies, the Designer Series paper, the dies, and the stamp sets. I know I personally do not need one of these cards right now. Thank the Lord, I don't need a sympathy card. But it's always good to have them on hand because when you need it, you don't want to make them. So I am using the With Sympathy set that is in the stamp set to create this card. But honestly, I think any of the sentiments that are in there would work perfect for this design. So let's point you over and we are going to get crafting. I'm just going to make sure we are live on my iPad, which I'm pretty sure we are. So let's bring in what I was talking about. So this is the Designing Damsel. This is the latest one that just ended. It ends the last day of the month. So the next one will actually come out hopefully by the 15th and it will end on the 30th. But this was the Attention Shoppers Crafting Kit. There are 16 projects that is in this tutorial. You only make a handful of them. Usually I make about 4, but I give you all the supplies where you can make all of them if you want to, but I pre-cut at least 4. This time I actually pre-cut for 5. So everybody gets to make 5 of the designs, but you have enough Designer Series paper, you have enough ribbon, you have enough of everything to recreate all of the cards that are in this kit. So if you haven't yet gotten one of these, they are a lot of fun and all of the work is done for you. So there's that. Let's bring in, good evening, Mary, welcome. So let's pull in, I actually did a couple little bunny ear tabs on the pages so I know which ones to go to. So on page 54 and 55 of your catalog, this is the set I focused on Tuesday, and I am going to go ahead and do another card with it today. The Designer Series paper is so gorgeous. I know I think I showed you guys it on Tuesday, but let me grab it so I can show you what it looks like again. I've used this for the July retreat not make and takes, the pillow gifts. I might use them for the make and takes. I still have 2 that I need to create, so possibly we'll use it, but I'm not sure. Still up in the air. So the paper is so fun, and I love how you get all of the in colors that's in the Designer Series paper. So yeah, that's the paper. And I'll bring in the stamp set and dies in a second so I can show you. But I wanted to emboss my cardstock. So I pulled out on page 51, it is called the Eyelet 3D embossing folder. So I pulled in this embossing folder to do on this card as well. So that's the product. Good evening, Valerie. Welcome. Let's bring in the bundles. So this is the Flower of Beauty. This is what we used on Tuesday, and I'm going to show you that card in a second. And this is the Unbounded Love. I'm using the With Sympathy right here. I've used the Happy Birthday a lot. And then on Tuesday, we used the Faith. And the dies fit all of the sentiments, which is really nice. And here is the embossing folder that I used. It's very pretty. It's very subtle. And I thought it worked perfect for the card we're going to be doing today. But here are the cards that I did on Tuesday's live. I went ahead and went back in and put all of the flowers on the cards, and I really think it made it pop. I really thought they turned out super cute. So those are the cards that I did on Tuesday. Let's bring in the card we're going to be doing today. So I thank goodness I don't need a With Sympathy card right now, but like I said earlier, it's always good to have them on hand when you do need them. And I just put a piece of our basic white on the inside to write your sentiments. And I don't use Calypso Coral very often, so I thought it was a nice change to pull the Calypso Coral in. So first, I have a piece of our cardstock. This is the Calypso Coral. It measures 4 1/4 by 11, and I scored it at 5 1/2, which I don't do this kind of fold very often, but I do like them. I tend not to do them because they don't fit in my box very well, but we're actually doing it in a card class on Saturday. We're doing one of these in this size. And I have a piece of our basic whites, and this is 4 by 5 1/4, and that's going to go on the inside. And this is peach pie. Whew, I almost said pecan pie, but it's peach pie. And this is 4 by 5 1/4, and this is what I ran through the embossing folder. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. I know the kind of lighting is a little funky. And then I have another piece of Calypso Coral that's 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. And our designer series paper that is 3 by 4. So it's a very easy card to put together. And I have one of the die cut pieces. I have dimensional backing stuck to my table. So on my original card, I just colored the outside of the sentiment with our sponge daubers. But for this next one, I actually think I'm going to do all of the layers. So I started by, this was layer number 1, layer number 2, and layer number 3. So I'm going to go ahead and put my Calypso Coral, and I'm just going to sponge around the edges. I kind of just wanted to see what this would look like, and I didn't think about it till it was already all glued together. And I was like, that's okay, because we're going to be making a couple more on the live, so we can just do it together on the live. I know one of my girlfriends does not like sponging, but I really think it kind of gives it a little bit of a pop. So you either love it or hate it, or you're like me and it doesn't bother you either way. I think it's beautiful without, but let's see what it looks like all together. So just sponging around all the edges. It adds a little bit of time to your card, but you know what? I think it's okay. And I am using Calypso Coral ink. And I'm not going super far in, I'm just coloring the edges. Good evening, Darlene, welcome. So there we go. That's how easy it was. Oh, you know what? Let's do this little scrap for our sentiment while we have it out. And I like to label my sponge daubers just so I know what color goes with what ink. But I am kind of a label nut, so it's not surprising. Okay, actually we can probably leave that open because I'm going to need it for the sentiment. So this card is super quick and easy to put together. We are just going to go ahead and glue our piece to the inside. And you could stamp one of the flowers on the inside. I actually didn't even think about it till just now. So let's pull out one of our flowers. Let's do this one. I'll take the sentiment off my block just so we can use this for a quick second. Even though it's already glued down, let's see if I can do this. Actually, let's do this stamp on and off. And I'm going to flip this over just so I can stamp off one time and come over here and do it on the edge. Oh, that actually looks super cute. Okay, let's do it up here also. Okay, I'm going to ink this up again just so I can get the two-tone, the second generation, if you want the correct terminology for that. Let me put on, so I actually think that looks really cute on the inside. So now we can just start layering our card together. So this piece is going to go on the outside. There we go. We can set that aside because we are going to tie some ribbon around this one before we glue it down. And silly me forgot to tie a couple bows before I went live. I literally just thought of it. So you get to see me tie a few bows. So everybody always asks, actually a lot of people are really good at tying bows when they come to retreats or card classes, but back in the day, they would always ask me to tie their bows. And I would jokingly tell them that they could add $20 for me to tie a bow, and everybody would just laugh. But I don't know what I do different. I do little bunny ears. I don't know how you guys tie bows. And I like this piece to be shorter. So I like to start with it super tiny and then this one be longer. I know it's a little weird, but it makes it where you get nice itty bitty bows. And that's what I like. There you go. And you don't have to trim any off of this side. You just have to trim this side off. I have to get my scissors out. There you go. Now you have a perfect bow. We actually need the ribbon again, even though I just pushed it to the side. So we're going to put a mini glue dot on one side. We're going to wrap this around. Trim it off. Make sure it's even. And then wrap this side around. When I'm doing a bow in the center, I like to grab another mini glue dot and tuck it up underneath. This just helps it stay in place. There we go. Now we can glue this down, and nobody's even going to know that I used that for scratch paper. Put a little bit of glue on the edges of your ribbon, and this can go right in the center. There we go. Let's pull in our basic white strip, ink up the With Sympathy. There we go. We can flip that over, and remember these guys. I'm going to pull a couple of these out. Actually, 3. A couple is 2. We're taking 3. You can grab your mini dimensionals and your large dimensionals. The larger ones we're going to put up top. The smaller ones we're going to put on the little flowers. Peel the backings off. That one's going to stick to my finger. Do you guys find these everywhere? Oh my goodness. They are all over my house, my dogs, everywhere. So this is going to go right in the center. And these are going to go right below it. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but I put a couple rhinestones in the center of the flowers. I don't know, you can kind of see it in person. I don't know if the video is going to show because it is super glimmer paper. But I just went ahead and put a couple rhinestones in the center. Thank you for all the thumbs up and the hearts. I appreciate that. I just saw them flying across my screen out of the corner of my eye. And I really think, I thought using the poker part of the take your pick tool was easier, but I actually think using the putty is a lot easier. So there's that. And then let's glue down our bow for the center. There you go. You could use any of the sentiments that are in here. We use the sympathy, but let me pull out the happy birthday, because I really think any of the sentiments in this set would work for this card. Hopefully the happy birthday fits. Oh, it does. Good. So I'm going to ink up the happy birthday. There we go. And do you guys like it better with it sponged on the edges? I actually think I do. It gives it a little bit of depth, and I don't know if you can tell from the video. I think my coloring is a little off. Let me pull it out and then go back in. Oh, nope, I still think the coloring is a smidgen off. But I actually do like, I do think I do like it. Whew, that was hard to get out. Let's find my sponge dauber. There it is. And we will just quickly do another one. I will have these up in the studio for Saturday's class, so you guys can definitely take a peek at them and see which one you like better. But I really do think adding the little bit of color on the edge kind of makes it pop. So let's see, what else should we talk about while I am sitting here coloring? Nothing exciting going on. I have card class on Saturday, so that's super exciting. But other than that, we're pretty boring over here. It did look like it was going to rain today. All day it's been super cloudy. And the crazy thing is, last weekend, I literally had like the worst pressure, like sinus headache all day, like Saturday and Sunday last weekend. And nothing said about rain or being cloudy or overcast. And sure enough, today it is. But it was nice to get in the pool and the sun wasn't beating down on you. That was definitely nice. Okay, let me bring in the little flowers again. We will stamp before we glue it in. That is always the best thing to do. Let's grab our little scratch piece. Actually, I missed an edge because I lifted it up too fast. There we go. Perfect. So cute. I'm so glad we decided to do that. Sponge dauber, we didn't do this piece. Hello, Cassie. I just saw that you logged on. Lucas just FaceTimed me before I went live. He was eating a egg, an egg. He was eating a hard-boiled egg. That kid loves eggs. I've never seen a kid who loves eggs as much as he does. I got a protein box one time and he ate both eggs that were in it. He's a hot mess, just like his Mimi. Okay, so that's going to go on the inside. And now we're just going to layer this up on the outside. And you'll get to see me tie another bow because I didn't prep the bows before the live. Let's scooch this over to the side and we'll glue this together. And with this set, if you got the stamp set with the sentiments, the designer series paper, and you cut your card bases 4 by 3 by 4, you can get a ton out of one pack of paper with all of these sentiments. You could literally get all of your birthday cards, your sympathy cards, your get well, all your cards you could have done with using this design. There we go. I am going to grab my tool and take a mini glue dot off and tuck that up underneath. And then let's tie a bow. I'm going to close up the ink pad just so I don't put my finger in it. So this, my left side is going to be short. It's going to be tiny. My right side is going to be long. So when I flip them over, I don't have as much waste that I have to cut off. There we go. And then you can just come over to this side and banner this edge as well. Perfect, right? I could sit and tie bows all day long. When I go to the doctor's, I always take a little bucket of the bows that I need for class or retreats or whatever, and I sit in the doctor's office and tie bows. I'm pretty sure the doctors all think I'm nuts, but it's okay. I pretty much am. So let's put the happy birthday up top. Let's grab some of our flowers. You only need 3. Let's flip these over. Oh, it's blurry. Sometimes it does that. I have no idea why. I need to have my son-in-law come over, or my son-in-law's brother. I think he's really good at videoing. Maybe he could help me with all of my little glitches. I think my son-in-law could do it also. So this one, the little piece fell out of the inside. So this one will definitely need the rhinestones. And I think I'm going to put a rhinestone up in the top as well. Yeah, this works a million times better than the poker side. There we go. And I think I want a larger one up here. Oh, so stinking cute. There we go. There are your cards for tonight. Let me bring them in. So this is the original one I did that we didn't spun the edges of the designer series paper or the cardstock. And these ones, we sponged the edges. And I hope you guys can see the difference. If not, you'll definitely be able to see it on Saturday. But I think I really do like them sponged. It just adds some dimension to it. So there you go. There is your guys' cards for tonight. Hopefully you enjoyed this series of using the Unbounding Beauty stamp set and dies. It is definitely a gorgeous set. So if you haven't played with it yet, you definitely want to. My stamp set is stuck to the outside. That's what's sitting there. So there's that. Next week, we will be focusing on another bundle. The month of June, all bundles through Stampin' Up! Are an extra 10% off. So they're already marked at 10% off when you buy them as a bundle, but they're an extra 10%. So you're pretty much getting 20% off of the bundles in the annual catalog. So for this month, we're definitely focusing on using bundles, and there's so many of them out there. It is so hard to pick which one to use. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I will see many of you guys at card class on Saturday, or I will see everybody on Tuesday for another live. Have a great evening, and we will chat soon. Bye-bye.